Right, hello once again, my fellow pitmasters, barbecue enthusiasts, chefs. We've got two charcoal tests today. I'm actually out using my clay hibachi grill today. Got some mixed meat skewers, some sausages and some chicken fillets that I'm going to be cooking today. So using the clay grill, this is one that we sell online, hibachi style, and also got the one that I've used in previous tests, which is the one we import from Japan, which is hibachi style grill, metal one. We've got two different charcoals today. So we've got in this grill, we've got a eucalyptus. It's quite a lightweight wood. I know it sounds a little bit unusual, but it almost feels quite soft to the touch. So that one is eucalyptus, and then over here we've got some oak. This is actually produced in the traditional method, which takes about 2 weeks in the traditionally made furnace. From that you get a much better carbonisation of the wood. So when you tap it together, it sort of sounds almost ceramic. So we're going to be giving the oak a whirl in this side, and we'll see how we get on. I'm going to light them up now. Just got natural firelighters in the bottom of each of these, and we'll give them sort of 15-20 minutes and see how they get on, and do another video when we're lit and ready. Okay, so we are just 16-17 minutes having lit these, and the eucalyptus is now well underway. Easily can grill on that now, no problem. Actually the oak it looks like it's further behind. It's not quite as hot. It's actually a breezy day again today, and the wind's blowing this way, so this grill is getting a bit more of the wind than this one. Probably see it blowing, but this is ready for grilling as well actually, but I'm going to let it go whiter and come back and cook some food on it in about 10 minutes, but it's ready to go now. So we'll put the marker down now as ready to go, and we'll see how long we get out of these. Again, I'm a bit like my last test with the mangrove. I'm expecting a good couple of hours out of both of these. Incidentally, the oak is in sort of medium-sized pieces. We will be getting this in medium to large chunks, and the eucalyptus I pulled out of the sample box the medium-sized chunks. Again, this is available in much larger ones. In fact, I'll do a little quick video in a moment of some of the other pieces of that. I haven't got any of the big pieces of the oak because I've given them to a couple of my chef customers for them to try this stuff out. So we'll come back in 10 minutes. Alright, as I said a moment ago, I'd give a quick look at the rest of the sample that I've got of the eucalyptus. So like I say, you know, it's available in larger chunks. You can see in here it's a very uniform material, which is great, especially for the way that we want to package this in boxes. Makes it much better to pick, pack, sort, ship over in boxes. Obviously it's all really good sized lumps. One of my main observations just with this material is it's quite lightweight, so it kind of reminds me of a birch charcoal, because it's by virtue of its own volume, it's quite a lightweight wood. So that's the eucalyptus for another day. I'm not testing this today, but we've got some lychee wood in here. Again, decent sized chunks. It's a bit heavier. I'm told, I'm going to find out in the course of the next couple of weeks, that lychee has a tendency to absorb moisture from the air, so it can be a bit spitty. But I shall test that on a separate occasion. We'll be back to the grilling in about 6 or 7 minutes. Alright, we've got the first lot of meat on. I've put it on the eucalyptus because actually it's going to take slightly longer to do the chicken and the sausages when compared to my pork and dry aged sirloin kebabs. I've also noticed that the heat from the eucalyptus is higher than the heat from the oak, noticeably so, just using the old hand as a thermometer. But it's also glowing a lot more, so it could be the style of this grill, which has got a particular set of venting systems to give it a good heat. So that was an interesting note. But anyway, we're sort of into half an hour of the charcoal being lit, about 20-25 minutes into it being actually ready for grilling. So we'll get the pork and the beef on this side, on the oak, shortly, and see how we get on. Okay, so we're well in the cooking process on this side. I have to say the sausages and the chicken on the eucalyptus have cooked quicker than I actually anticipated. It's really good at getting a high heat on this particular hibachi grill. So yeah, I mean, that sausage is split there because of the heat. But we're probably not far off done. We're well into half an hour of cooking time onto this charcoal, and it's still blazing hot. I mean, I've got my hand up here and it's still, that's as close as you want to get. So it's certainly a hot charcoal. On this side we've put on the kebabs some nice dry aged sirloin from my mate at Barnaby Moor. So some lovely sirloin steak there, and some pork fillets, all put onto some skewers. Fits perfectly onto that hibachi grill. And in fact, we'll have a little flip over of this one. Already starting to get some nice charring on it. The oak's definitely running at a lower temperature. But this is a big clay oven, so I think this is soaking up some of the heat, whereas this style of grill is it's got a lot more, it's got the airflow going through it, so I think it just cooks a lot quicker. But we're going to take this off actually in a minute, and we'll go back and have another look at the charcoal. So I took the sausages and the chicken off. Like I said, it actually caught me out. They were done faster than I anticipated. And this, wow, this eucalyptus charcoal is rip-roaringly hot. So you can probably see that in there. Again, back to the oak. But these are just starting to go a little bit opaque on this side. So there we go. We're going to spin those over. I might stick them on the eucalyptus in a little bit just to give them that extra bit of charring. But, again, a really even heat coming from this oak. You can see it's not all of it's completely lit yet, but it's got some good heat. So again, we'll let those cook and we'll come back to the charcoal once these are cooked. Right, I've moved some of the mixed pork and beef kebabs over onto this side. I'm just going to move these across so we can just see the charcoal working. So on this side we've got the oak. Like I say, it's now, you know, got a good high temperature, but it's definitely noticeably a lower temperature than the eucalyptus. I'd say the eucalyptus, partly because it's on this other type of grill which has got a special air venting system. If you can see it through there, but it's basically got air vents all the way around, so it's constantly got a circulation of air, whereas this one just has the two front air inlets, and other than that it's got no air circulation inside. So I think it's allowing the charcoal to burn slower, but that's got a really high heat now. We're about 40-45 minutes into the charcoal being ready to cook on, and I think we're going to easily exceed 2 hours with the oak. We're probably going to just about achieve 2 hours with the eucalyptus. It looks like it's sort of getting on for about halfway burnt through, so yeah, should just about make 2 hours, but the oak I'm pretty sure will. So I'm just going to keep my eye on these. I'm going to go and eat these, and then I'll come back and report on the charcoal. Okay, so I have come back out actually just after the 2 hour mark. The eucalyptus has now almost died down, so got to about 1 hour 50, 1 hour 40, so not quite 2 hours on the eucalyptus. The oak, as you can see, it's still got perfectly good heat coming off of that. 2 hours in, so I think it's got another 30 minutes left in it. I'll come back and have a look at these either later on or in the morning, just to see what quantity of ash is left. But yeah, the oak is burning longer. The eucalyptus was certainly burning quicker but hotter, but I also think an element of that is down to the two different grill styles as well, so very interesting. So as promised, the morning after the night before, just let the charcoal burn out completely just to see what ash was left. Where you can see there's really not a lot been left after the eucalyptus. So some of it's probably blown away a little bit, but obviously it's below the grate there. There was some in there from my previous test of the mangrove, so really left very little ash behind at all. And then the oak, a couple of pieces that didn't quite burn there, but then everything else has fallen through the grate, so again really not much there at all, because those two chambers were pretty full. Yeah, I would think about 15%, 10-15% left in there and sub 10% in there, so very happy with both of those. I think characteristically the eucalyptus burned quicker but noticeably hotter. We did struggle to get to 2 hours yesterday. I think looking back it was about 1 hour and 40 minutes on that, but they were sort of only the sort of medium-sized pieces in there, which obviously burn quicker. And this Japanese grill has got multiple vents in it, and it's got a special airflow system, so that certainly helps fire it up. And then in this side we easily got well over 2 hours, 2.5 hours quite comfortably out of the oak. Probably a bit longer than that. I didn't come back and check it. It was still hot at 2.5 hours in and carried on through the night. But obviously this clay grill has got far less airflow on it, with just the two vents at the front there. So that will have made a bit of a difference. It'd be interesting to try it again, reversed with the eucalyptus in this one and the oak in the other one, so I might do that one day.